We continue our Pro Humps tour with the local legend, one of the best Campbell baseball players, maybe ever in program history, Matthew Barefoot, who's now playing for the Fayetteville Woodpeckers of the Houston Astros organization. And Matthew, describe the full circle moment for you as a player. Your big breakout moment as a Camel was a go-ahead home run at Segra Stadium in Fayetteville. And here we are 2 years later, you're playing for the Woodpeckers just down the road in Fayetteville.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible how the place I'm back at's in Fayetteville, and then the first at bat being able to be a home run. I feel like it may be a little meant to be, but it's awesome. I mean, every night I know I have people in the stands wanting to watch me every night, so it's really cool.
You mentioned that home run in the home opener, and I'm curious, as a player, you've had this whole year without fans, without playing baseball, quite honestly, and to be able to return home and start the season with a home run in that ballpark, what did that mean to you?
Well, honestly, it's just refreshing to me, being able to have people in the stands, especially the people I know that want to see me play. And even going through spring training, we weren't able to have people there. It's just a whole different atmosphere. It's really enjoyable to play in, and it feels like there's meaning behind it too.
Matthew, it's neat on that note because we've seen you at Campbell games this year, watching your brother and watching the teammates as well that you have on this Campbell team. To have that refreshing moment to return home, but then, gosh, 2 weeks later, you're playing minor league baseball, something you dreamed about as a kid growing up. Take me through the emotions of that moment.
Well, I mean, that's especially after my first year in professional baseball, whenever things weren't going great and, trying to figure out some things, I would say, it's a big relieving moment, I would say. I had, just a lot of weight being able to put off my shoulders, a lot of work that I put in. And, yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is just being relieving. I mean, it was great.
You had the chance to face a former teammate in Tyson Messer and someone you grew up very close to both in the Campbell area, and facing him as a pitcher. What was that moment for you? Of course, getting to the minor leagues and now playing in A-ball, but facing a teammate as well in Tyson on the hill.
Yeah. Going up there, I mean, you have to try to keep it serious. And I think we both did. But, I was talking to him before the game and just hanging out, just talking about everything else but baseball. But, it's just it's pretty cool because, obviously we went through a lot together in college, won championships together, grinded together, did all that stuff. And, it's just a pretty cool moment. And I think I'll have Seth Johnson coming up in a couple of weeks if everything keeps going. So I guess looks like I'll go for round 2.
I was going to say he's on the Charleston River Dogs, so you will face them this year. You'll face Tyson multiple times with Kannapolis as well. How neat is it as a player to have, of course, all three of you guys in A-ball, but also Michael Horrell in Double-A, and that crop of players in your year have really made some strides in the minor leagues?
Well, I think it's a testament to what we're doing at Campbell. I mean, we have multiple people now playing professional baseball, a couple in the big leagues now. So I think it kind of says to the talent of players that we're getting over there now.
Matt, of course, we've talked about playing close to home, but now playing a full minor league season. You had a shortened season after you were drafted, of course, in 2019, but entering a 140-game campaign, it's a much longer year than college. There's a lot more that goes into it. What does it take as a player to prepare for this huge stretch of baseball?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's realizing that it's 120 games we have this year. Whenever things are not going good, there's still a lot of games to go. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I guess mentally for me, it's just you try to show up as the same guy every night. Do not let results dictate anything, whether it's good or bad, because it's too long of a year to be on an emotional roller coaster. So just for me, it's just kind of staying level-headed and just come up in the same way every night.
I'm glad you mentioned that because you've had some recent success as we record this episode with multiple home runs in 3 of your last 4 games. And I'm always curious as a hitter, you remember in 19, the sirens and the emotions of Segra Stadium. Was that somewhat neat as well, rounding the bases after that first home run at home and hearing a similar vibe to the 2 years ago moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually really cool. I mean, I halfway blacked out during the moment because it was so cool. But, yeah, obviously hearing the fans and the sirens, it's cool around the bases. I couldn't lie. I'd be lying to you if I said I won't smile a little bit. So it was really cool.
Matt, this is obviously incredible for you to continue your professional career. I am curious as you get to this point and sort of reflect on the last year of waiting and uncertainty and just not knowing the future of what minor league baseball had in store. How rewarding is it to get back on the field and return to play?
Yeah, like you said, I think I think I did the math. It's like 20 something month off season. Like, and there's only so much you can do to prepare yourself physically and mentally for that whenever you're not actually playing, because it's a whole different. The game is demanding in a lot of different ways. So, being able to get out here and see people in different uniforms and see people in the stands, um, I think for all of us, I mean, it's a much needed and awaited thing, because we are extremely appreciative of what's going on right now and being able to play again.
And Matthew, for you personally, being able to play in Fayetteville, so close to home to Dunn, where you call home, and I know this organization with the Buies Creek ties with the old Buies Creek Astros, but just from a personal standpoint, what does it mean to play close to home and to have that convenience of your family, gosh, just down the street?
Yeah, so let's see. I played 8 games right now, and I think I've had about 10 people every night. So we went to the Carolina Mudcats first, which is not too far away anyway. And yeah, I mean, it just every night, my mom's sending me a text, say how many people have we got coming tonight, and it's really cool to be able to have people there, because it's kind of the way I grew up too. I mean, back when I was at Campbell, I think my family only missed like 3 or 4 games in my entire career, and just they love it, and I'm thankful that I'm able to play close to home at least for a little while, so they can keep going.
No, that's fantastic. And Matthew, my final question for you, being able to watch now your brother Cameron start his baseball career. I know he's redshirting this year and gearing up, sort of like you did early in your campaign. What are the lessons that you're teaching him, or just how proud you are of his ability to start this path that you went on a few years ago?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely still young, maturing, getting used to the whole college thing. It's you have to reiterate that, especially redshirting, like I said earlier, minor league baseball, it's a marathon, not a sprint. You've got to figure out ways. There's a lot of learning you got to do for yourself, and he'll get there. But it takes time, it takes commitment, and you just got to work hard and see what happens.
Well, Matt, I hope the next time you and Tyson face, for your sake, it's not a line drive to left, maybe over the wall, but I don't want to put bad juju on Tyson as well. But no, Barefoot, we appreciate the time, and thanks as always.
I appreciate it, Evan.